Hi there and big welcome to a Malifaux battle report with Kaeris Reborn version 2 versus Brewmaster the moonshiner. Now I know that is actually the older model version 1, but we're using the older model for the version 2 Brewmaster here. In the end, this is literally a match of fire versus poison. Tri-She is deployed up there in that corner edge, and Wildfire is deployed at the other corner edge, with a few models standing on that balcony, and they can currently see the Tri-She over there across the battlefield. And this is how the battlefield looks for the Tri-She glancing at their enemy. Now, me and my opponent have had a problem in the past of making two cool, cinematic and awesome looking battle reports, so we decided to skip the entire scheme part of this one. Because as we're trying to figure out other ways of making these battle reports, we wanted to down-tune the work and just remove that part. So in this match, it's all just about killing. We're just gonna slam these two crews together and see who comes out on top. Very interesting battle match here, because this group, the Bayou Tri-She with Barroom Brawl and Tipsy Slide, can deal damage when they move around models by reducing their poison condition, while the Wildfire has a lot of AoE, which could be very scary for the Tri-She here. Both sides flip 1 on the initiative, so it's a re-flip where Wildfire flips a 4 and Tri-She flips their red joker. Kinda sad. Now Tri-She decides to force Wildfire to start the match. Deacon Hellchrist activates first. He begins by using Call to the Burning Man and gain a success. However, he decides to cheat Fate to gain Wretched in Ash trigger. This drops a Peer Mark. First normal action, walks into the Peer Mark. This gives him Burning. Red rubber bands marks how much burning you have, but because of his Spirits in the Flame passive ability, he also gains Shielded. Blue rubber bands marks much shielded you have. Last action, focus. Yellow rubber bands marks much focus you have. And doing an action on the peer marker grants him another burning. Turn goes to the Bayou and the Brewmaster activate. First action, bonus action. Open the Gird, but the action failed, so he has to cheat Fate for a success, transforming this Whisk Golem into a hazardous terrain mark. He also gains the inbuilt trigger Private Stash heals 2 and gain poison. Green rubber bands marks how much poison you have. Second action, walk 6 inches. He gains another poison for the hazardous terrain effect from the Whiskey Golem. Attack action, another round, throwing a shockwave at his friend. They relent and all gain poison too. Another round also causes models to take damage from the poison condition. This trigger tips his slide, and all models move 1 inch. But when this happens, because they moved within a hazardous terrain marker, they also gain poison again. And the last action, throwing another round, same targets, again, it's a failure. So we have to cheat Fate to gain a success. And the team is starting to get very drunk, but that ends Brewmaster's activation. Fire Gamin, activate. First action, walk 5 inches. This will trigger his Dance in the Flames, which whenever he resolves a walk action, he may place any peer marker that he walked through into base contact after walk. He's basically around here to just transport these peer markers around. Make sure that you have your peer markers with you as you advance forward onto the battlefield. Second action, focus. And when he focuses, he gains burning for standing in the peer marker. Apprentice Wesley activates. Now here comes some strange Tri-She stuff. He declares charge action on the Brewmaster, and on his attack action he casts Have a Drink. That hits because Brewmaster relents, and it gives the Brewmaster 2 more poison. This entire crew is basically just running around and drinking alcohol during the fight. Second action, walk, and his activation is over. Now the two crews are starting to get closer and see each other, but they still have a long way to go. This deployment really makes them deploy far away from each other. Elijah Borgman activate. First action, walk into the peer marker, gaining burning. Second action, walk again out of the peer marker, gaining burning again doing so. Before his activation ends, he uses his bonus action, Call to the Burning Man, and gain a success. He's at full health and this is a self-heal, but he's doing this to gain more burning, going up to the magical 3. But here his activation is over. The Fermented River Monk without any poison activate. First action, walk into the hazardous terrain effect around the Whiskey Golem, gaining burning. Gaining poison. Bonus action, Rusty Flask, success, gaining more poison. but doing this action inside hazardous terrain gives him more poison again, as well as his inbuilt trigger to move 1 inch. Last action, charge. And then have a drink on the Brewmaster. It's a hit. Brewmaster gains 2 poison, but we also gain the drinking problem inbuilt trigger, and Fermented River Monk also gains 2 more poison. Carlos activate. And when he activates, he pulls out a flame nova that gives burning to everything around him in 2 inches. First action, walk. Walking through the pier mark, gaining burning. Second action, bonus action on the pier. He fails because he needs to flip book and 6 above, so therefore he cheats fate with his tome of 6. So he gets to create his pier marker, but also gain burning because doing this action inside pier mark. Last action, walk into the new pier mark, gaining more burning, up to the magical count of 3 burning. And his activation is over. Moon Shinobi activate. First action, walk. They're actually quite fast, 6 inches move. Now he did start to move inside a hazardous terrain effect, so he gains 1 more poison. Second and last action, walk again, but not too far away from the Brewmaster. You need to stay within his aura. In any case, the Moon Shinobi's activation is over. The 2 crews are now starting to get closer to each other. The Eternal Flame activate. First action, walk. Second action, walk again. Bonus action, control the flame, but the flip fails and Wildfire don't decide to cheat fate for it. Whiskey Golem. First action, bonus action, walk. The Whiskey Golem is nimble and can therefore treat walk actions as a bonus action. First normal action, focus. Now most models in the Tri-Chi don't want to have focus because of Drunken Brawl. Whiskey Golem can actually use focus. And last action, walk, that finishes the Whiskey Golem's activation. Lady Firebrand activates. First action, walk into the pier marker, gaining burning, and second action, focus. Fermented River Monk activate. First action, charge and attack the other River Monk, giving him more poison or more alcohol. Second action, walk into the hazardous terrain effect, gaining some poison from the Whiskey Golem. And then bonus action, Trusty Flask, to gain a poison from Trusty Flask and 1 poison from the hazardous terrain effect. Manly Firebrand activate. First action is a simple walk. Second action, focus. The Moon Shinobi that is upside down activates. First action, walk 6 inches. As I said before, they are really fast. Second action, charge. We're getting into base-to-base contact with the Whiskey Golem, and then we attack the Whiskey Golem, giving it 2 poisons with have a drink. Last action, bonus action, Trusty Flask. It's a fail, and the Tri-Chi don't cheat fate for a success. Tri-Chi currently have 4 cards in its hand, but still don't cheat fate for it. Second Lady Firebrand activate. 2 walk actions to move into the pier marker and gain burning. And her activation ends. Fingers Leong activate. The greedy little gremlin. First action, charge the Brewmaster and give him more poison. Second action, walk 5 inches. He can walk 6, but he decided to walk only 5. And then Trusty Flask. It's a success and he gains more poison. And his activation is over. Kaeris activate. First action, walk. She has an amazing 7-inch move that brings her to the pier mark, giving her burning. Second action, focus. Gaining a secondary burning for standing in that pier mark, doing an action. Last action, walk. Now, because she started her move inside a pier marker, she gets to do a placement effect, flying all the way to the next pier mark, and gains more burning. Last model to activate this turn, first action, walk, second action, focus, and last action, Trusty Flask. Push 1 inch and gain poison. And that ends round 1.
Round 2.
Tri-Chi wins the initiative flip and decides to force Wildfire to start the match. So Wildfire decides to activate a filler model, the Fire Gamin. First action, walk. And with the walk action, we move the pier marker forward. Second action, focus. Gaining burning because it's standing in the pier marker taking this action. Apprentice Weasley activates. First action, walk. Getting into a very forward position. But Weasley has an aura that increases damage by poison, so it's quite good to have him a bit forward, but it's a bit risky as he could also die from it. Therefore, a second action, focus. And last action, bonus action, Trusty Flask to gain 1 more poison. Lady Firebrand activates. First action, walk into the pier marker, gaining burning. Second action, shooting elemental bolt on the apprentice Weasley, using burning to gain a bonus flip, but the attack miss, so the firebrand cheats fate. And so does apprentice Weasley, and ultimately the attack miss. Last action, bonus action, embrace the flame, but the skills check fails. She tried to heal herself, but nothing. Moon Shinobi activates. First action, walk. Second action, charge Kaeris. Now this is supposed to trigger Tipsy Slide, however, the Brewmaster is too far away from the Moon Shinobi, so Tipsy Slide doesn't trigger. But the Moon Shinobi is still trying to give Kaeris some alcohol. Have a drink. Flipping a 9 on the attack against willpower. Kaeris fails, takes the drink and becomes intoxicated, gaining 2 poison. Last action, trusty flask from the Moon Shinobi, but the action fails. Which is a little bit sad, because otherwise the Moon Shinobi and Kaeris would toast to each other, basically. Deacon Hellcrest activates. Bonus action, call to the Burning Man. It is a success, but without the correct trigger. However, because of Burning Man's gift, he may add whatever suit he wants, so he can gain a trigger, Wretch in Ash, and drop a pier marker. Second action, translocate ritual, and it's a success, targeting Elijah Borgman, moving him into the pier marker. Last action, walk to a new pier marker, always staying in a pier marker, and Deacon Hellcrest's activation ends. Now Wildfire has a lot of AoE, but they are not the only one with splash attacks. The Brewmaster activates. He moves forward to make sure that his AoE effects and auras will be affected in this match. Second action, another round, throwing an alcoholic bottle at the enemy that is clustered up. His action succeeds. Kaeris resists. Her willpower is too strong. Carlos resists as well, and so does the Firebranded. But the Moon Shinobi decides to relent and fail. So he gains 2 poison, and then he takes damage from the poison effect. When he do so, Barroom Brawl happens and he moves 1 inch for each damage he would have suffered, which would mean that he could move 2 inches. However, he doesn't really want to move that much. He was going to move a tiny bit to trigger the Barroom Brawl and deal 1 damage to any model within 1 inch of him, dealing 1 damage to Kaeris. Bonus action, open the gird on the Whiskey Golem. The Whiskey Golem is now again a hazardous terrain effect around it. And last action, he charged Kaeris, but his attack flips a 2, while Kaeris flips an 11. Brewmaster cheats in a 12, and it ends up being a hit, flipping 3 cards because of Kaeris' heart wound, ultimately dealing 2 damage, but also giving Kaeris 2 more poison. Elijah Borgman activates. First action, charge the Moon Shinobi, but well, with his greatsword he can actually also attack the Brewmaster if he wants to. Attacking the Moon Shinobi using burning to gain a bonus flip, getting a straight hit, and a trigger to dash out burning. Or well, not really from the card, but because of the Burning Man's gift, from Kaeris being the leader. He flips a severe damage of 5, sending the Moon Shinobi down to 1 life. And currently, it will die at the end of this turn because of burning. Because of this, Elijah Borgman's second action attacking the Brewmaster, using burning again to gain a bonus flip of 9, a total of 15. While the Brewmaster flips a natural 5, but cheats fate because these attacks can really hurt. But attacking the Brewmaster triggers its butterfly jump, and it decides to move 3 inches closer to Elijah Borgman. This triggers the Barroom Brawl and deals 1 damage to Elijah Borgman, reducing poison by 1. Elijah Borgman's last action, call to the Burning Man, the bonus action, but it is a fail. So he cheats an 8 of Ram for a success and gaining the Ignite trigger, dealing 2 burning turfing within 2 inches, which is actually quite a lot of stuff on both the enemy and friendly side. And then he heals himself for 2 and gains 1 burning, and Elias' activation ends. defense. Bayou might need some more resources and well, time to draw some more cards. Finger Leongs activate. First action, walk, getting closer to the enemy. Bonus action, trusty flask, but the action actually fails. But we can cheat fate for a success. Second action, toast, giving poison to all models within 6 inches, both friend and enemy. And then he lowers his own poison condition down to 0 to draw 3 secretly unknown cards to his new hand. And there here his activation ends. The Eternal Flame activates. Bonus action, control the flame, target a peer marker and place it anywhere within 3 inches of its current position. Second action, flame detonation. Fingers Leong succeeds with a shockwave, the Brewmaster succeeds with a shockwave as well, and the Moon Shinobi also dodges the shockwave. Last action, blast off again. Fingers Leong dodges the shockwave, but the Brewmaster flips a black joker, and is obviously hit by the shockwave. The Moon Shinobi is also hit by the shockwave. Now he can be saved by cheating fate, however he's going to die because of burning. He can also be saved from that as well with some assist and healing. But there's a bunch of hoops to get there and Bayou decides to let him die. Fermented River Monk activates. First action, walk. Second action, charge Kaeris. Attacks Kaeris with staggering punch, flipping a 9, a total of 14. But Kaeris flips a 12 and attack miss. However, Barroom Brawl triggers, and Kaeris takes 1 point of damage. Bonus action, Trusty Flask, and the Fermented River Monk gains a poison. Lady Firebrand activates. First action, walking into the peer marker and gaining burning. Second action, Elemental Bolt on Fingers Leong. Using her burning and focus, scoring a 13 versus an 8. And it is a weak hit, but because of focus it becomes a straight flip, dealing 3 damage. And applying some burning. Fingers Leong gains the defense trigger to move 3 inches, but he chooses not to, and the Firebrand's activation ends. Fermented River Monk activates and gains a She token. First action, walk. Second action, charge Carlos, trying to tempt Carlos with having a drink, offering him some alcohol. Try She flips a 4 and Carlos flips a 7, so it's a miss. But Try She cheats Fate and goes up to 10, a total of 16. Carlos cheats Fate as well and goes up to 12 plus 7, 17, and it's a miss. Carlos' butterfly jump triggers, and he moves 3 inches, or well up to 3 inches, into the peer marker and gains burning. Last action, Trusty Flask, but the action fails. Male Firebrand activates. First action, walk, just a few steps forward. Second action, shooting at Fingers Leong. Finger Leong flips an unlucky 1, a total of 7 in defense. And Firebrand flips a 13 of tome. Sadly, Try She doesn't have any really good cards to cheat for here, so it's a great hit. And damage is moderate, 3 damage and 2 more burning. The last River Monk activates. First action, walk, gaining a poison for taking an action or while moving into hazardous terrain effect from the Whiskey Golem. Bonus action, Trusty Flask, gaining 2 more poison. And push 1 inch forward. And last action, focus. Carlos activates, and when he activates he pulls out a Flame Nova, giving burning to everything within 2 inches. He is currently in close combat with this Fermented River Monk, and therefore can't make a walk action or shooting action, only disengage. And he is himself out of reach with his own melee attack against the Fermented River Monk. Now he could use his bonus action to make a walk action up, or well, a move action up close to the Fermented River Monk and attack it, but if he does this, the Whiskey Golem will charge him afterwards. And Wildfire wanna dodge the Whiskey Golem's combat this turn if possible. So instead, bonus action on the pier, but he flips a black joker and the action fails. Disengage, moves a few inches backwards, and last action, breath of fire on this fermented river monk. But the attack miss as the river monk flips a 9, while Carlos flips a 5, and Carlos don't want to cheat fate for it. And there his activation ends. Upside down moon shinobi activates. First action walk, bonus action trust the flask. The action fails, but we flip cheat fate for it, gaining 1 more poison. And last action, walk out towards the side, trying to surround the wildfire and avoiding clustering up too much because wildfire has so much AoE. Kaeris activates. Bonus action, call the burning man for self-heal and dropping a pier marker straight on the fermented river monk. First action, attacking the fermented river monk with Hand of Immolation, using focus for a bonus flip, but the fermented river monk flips a knight, so it's currently a miss. Kaeris cheats fate by throwing in a red joker. Now it's a weak hit, but she used focus, so it's a straight flip. And she flips moderate damage. 4 damage with a blast AoE effect. Fermented river monks, however, can use poison to reduce damage like shielded, so ends up only taking 2 damage and reducing poison by 2. She drops a pier marker and gets to do the rampage trigger, flies across and gets to make her wings of fire on the fermented river monk and Fingers Leong. Fingers Leong is now down to 1 life and will die to burning. Kaeris still attacks him, but it's a miss. She flips a 4 while the gremlin flips an 8. She wanna dance around though, so she cheats fate for a 9 to get the hit. It's a weak damage flip, but damage is still moderate. 4 damage, killing the gremlin. Moderate damage are AoE blast effects, and it actually hits Apprentice Weasley, where he takes 3 damage and goes down to 1 life remaining. Kaeris' rampage trigger happens, and she flies across, connecting over the Brewmaster, who takes 1 damage. Kaeris' last action, leader versus leader, Hand of Immolation against the Brewmaster, the moonshiner. Kaeris flips a 3, and the Brewmaster flips a 7. But Kaeris cheats fate and throws in a 12. The Brewmaster has nothing in his hand to topple that, and the attack hits. However, it's a minus flip and we end up doing only 2 damage, sending the Brewmaster down to 7 life remaining. Now here's an important problem though. Currently, as Brewmaster is standing at the end of this round, Scourging Radiance from Kaeris will move all the burning from her, or well, the burning damage, onto the Brewmaster if he remains within 3 inches. However, with Butterfly Jump he may move up to 3 inches away, but the problem is how they are standing. He isn't able to run away from Kaeris far enough as they are in base contact. However, he still has the Whiskey Golem that can heal him. So the Brewmaster decides to butterfly away towards this firebrand and use the Barroom Brawl to deal 1 damage to the firebrand. Whiskey Golem activates and he has a leader to save. First action, walk. Second action, walk again, making sure that he is within range for his walking distiller and outside the range of the pier marker so he doesn't accidentally get some burning on himself. And then he heal the Brewmaster for a total of 2 and give him more poison. And here the Whiskey Golem's activation ends, together with round 2. But a lot of things happen at the end of this round. Kaeris is taking 2 damage from poison, but sends all the burning damage, a total of 4, at the Brewmaster, who also takes 1 damage himself from his own burning, going down to a total of 4, very close at dying. Elijah Borgman takes damage from his own burning and poison. Carlos takes 2 damage from his own burning, but when he does, he also gives this fermented river monk 1 distracted because of playing with fire. Deacon Hellchrist takes a total of 1 damage from his burning and uses his shielded to prevent the other one. The Lady Firebrand is supposed to take 2 damage from burning, but she's standing close to a pier marker and only takes 1. But then the Brewmaster's crazy tipsy slide happens. He will move himself closer to the Elijah Borgman using Barroom Brawl trigger to deal 1 damage to Elijah Borgman. The Whiskey Golem moves closer to Kaeris, dealing 1 damage to Kaeris. The Fermented River Monk has only 1 poison, but it still moves a tiny bit forward, triggering the Barroom Brawl, dealing 1 damage to the Firebrand. However, as he made this move, he did stand in a peer marker, so he gains an additional burning. This Fermented River Monk has 9 poison, so he's supposed to take 3 damage from the poison, making him move up to 3 inches, but up to here will be enough to deal 1 damage to Carlos. This Moon Shinobi tips his slides 2 inches forward and can on next turn potentially charge the enemy with some staggering punches. Apprentice Weasley could potentially move as well, but chooses not to because he might die from burning next activation.
Round 3.
Winning the initiative flip in this round is extremely important because Brewmaster is really close at dying and Kaeris might finish him off or Elijah Borgman in just 1 activation. Wildfire flips a 10 on the initiative, and so does Try She as well, so it's a reflip. Try She now gets a 3, that's really bad, and Wildfire gets an 11. And Wildfire gets to start the match. Elijah Borgman activates first and begins with his greatsword attacking the Brewmaster. Elijah Borgman uses burning to get a bonus flip, flipping a 9, a total of 15. Try She is really unlucky right now and flips a 1, a total of 7. But obviously cheats fate here and throws in a 10, a total of 16 currently. But Elijah Borgman cheats a 13, going up to 19 total, scoring a minus hit on the damage flip, but because of his greatsword, it becomes a straight flip. However, he flips a 1, but cheats in 12 of rams, which is severe, a total of 5 damage. And that is enough to kill the Brewmaster in 1 activation. He didn't have any remaining soul stones to save him, and honestly his hand that he could cheat fate from was really sad. And Try She have now lost their leader. Second action, bonus action, Call to the Burning Man, success. Heals himself for 2 and gains 1 burning. Last action, charge the Whiskey Golem, but remains outside of the Whiskey Golem's melee range, while the Greatsword has a 2-inch reach. Elijah Borgman is using burning for a bonus flip, however, the Whiskey Golem have beer goggles that is giving it a minus flip, so in the end, it's a straight flip of 2, a total of 8. And the Whiskey Golem gets a 13, a total of 19, which is a miss. So Whiskey Golem activates. First action, attacking Kaeris. The Whiskey Golem is using its focus to flip a king, a total of 19, and Kaeris flips a 6, a total of 12. Kaeris can't dodge the attack and make the attack miss, but she cheats fate to get a 9, so it's a minus flip. However, because of the focus, it's still a straight flip. But the Whiskey Golem flips a red joker on damage, giving her 7 total of damage and 2 more poison. So Whiskey Golem decides to attack again. If this one hits, Kaeris is dead. Both flips a 10, which is currently a hit. But Kaeris can cheat fate to make sure that the attack exactly miss. And here the Whiskey Golem's activation ends with Kaeris currently alive, going to take 2 damage from poisoning at the end of the turn though. But Kaeris can self-heal and decides to activate. First action and bonus action, Call to the Burning Man. She fails, but obviously cheats fate for a success here. Also, with her burning and Burningsman's gift, she can get the Wretch in Ash trigger to drop a peer marker and heal for 2, going up to 3 life. She attacks the Whiskey Golem with her Hand of Immolation. This isn't that smart, because of the Hand of Immolation and beer goggles she gets a minus flip, flipping a 1, a total of 7, while the Whiskey Golem gets a straight flip. She can't cheat fate to get a hit here either, so kinda bad to attack this thing. So instead her second normal action is Melting Point, which is what she should have done to begin with, at targeting herself. Models within range are pushed up to 2 inches in any direction and gain burning. So now she's free to activate as she pleases. However, wherever she goes, she could basically attack the Fermented River Monk, Or potentially she could attack, charge the apprentice Weasley, but then the enemy could turn around and kill her. So on her last activation she just flies back home towards her healers that can save her and keep her safe. Bayou activates the Fermented River Monk. They are in base contact, so staggering punch at the Firebrand lady. And she's only down to 2 health. If she takes 3 damage, she's dead. His attack flips a 5, while the Firebrand flips a lucky 13, no point in using she tokens. His second attack starts off better, flipping a 9, and their Fire Girl flips a 7, so it's a weak hit. The Fermented River Monk flips an 8 and a 2 and have to choose the 2, so it's weak damage of 2. So Firebrand is supposed to die, but because of her promise to the flame, she has armor, so she takes 1 damage. And she is now down to 1 life. Last action, Trusty Flask! Heals himself by 2 and gaining 1 poison. Now, if the leader, Brewmaster, would have been alive, we could have moved 1 inch and used the barroom brawl to kill the Firebrand, but the leader is dead, so he remains stationary because moving right now is just increasing his burning. So the Firebrand girl activates an attack back at the Fermented River Monk with her Burning Touch, using burning to gain a bonus flip. But the first attack still miss, so attacking again, using burning again to get a secondary bonus flip. But the Fermented River Monk is really dodgy right now and dodges all attacks. So last action, Embrace the Flame, reducing her own, burning completely, and 1 from Elijah Borgman to heal 3, going up to 4 health, and her activation ends. Next, Fermented River Monk to the party. First action, bonus action, Trusty Flask. To push 1 inch and gain 1 burning, but basically push 1 inch outside of Carlos' engagement range so that he can make a charge action. First, normal action, into the middle of all the enemy. Most Tri-She models have the Have a Drink close combat attack, which means he's currently locking everything within 2 inches in combat with him, which is making it hard for people to shoot and shoot at him. But then he's trying to offer the poor, hurt Kaeris some really nice alcohol. However, because he was given Distracted, he gets a minus flip and flips a 1. But Kaeris flips a 2, so he's using a she token to currently score a hit. So Kaeris cheats fates and decline the offer. But the monk is persistent and his next attack action offering a drink again, and poor Kaeris might mistake it for some potion healing and takes the offer. And gains 2 more poison. She's currently going to take 3 damage from poison at the end of the round. Carlos activates. First action, charge, attacking the Fermented River Monk with his flaming baton. First attack miss, but second attack hits. But the Fermented River Monk is increasing his total by spending a she token, so it's an even flip, but it's still a hit. It's a double minus flip, but he flips a red joker and deals a total of 4 damage and 1 more burning. His attack also gains the reposition trigger and he decides to move closer to Kaeris. Moon Shinobi activates. First action, charge, Deacon Hellchrist, smacking him with a staggering punch. However, Deacon Hellchrist have manipulative. However, the Moon Shinobi has drunken kung fu and will transform the negative flip of manipulative into a positive flip. So in this case, manipulative is actually negative for him. The Moon Shinobi flips an 8 and Deacon Hellchrist flips a 5 using a burning for a bonus flip. It's a weak hit and moderate damage. Deacon Hellchrist is down to 3 life remaining. Second attack, Moon Shinobi flips a king, a total of 19. Deacon Hellchrist uses both burning and focus but accidentally flips the black joker, and it's a very terrible hit. And damage is actually severe, 4 damage. And Deacon Hellchrist goes down to 0. Death. Female Firebrand activates. First action, disengage, gaining burning. They love to burn. Second action, shooting at the Moon Shinobi. Using burning for a bonus flip, scoring a hit, doing severe Rasputina 12 damage. Just joking, flipping a 12, the Moon Shinobi is down to 2 health. but also gains 2 burning. Last action, bonus action, embrace the flame on Kaeris. Kaeris currently has 14 burning. That's a potential of 5 damage that's gonna fly on that little fermented river monk. So instead we're removing burning from Carlos to heal Kaeris. But here the Brewmaster tries she and Bio concedes to Kaeris fire burn. Kaeris is going to be healed up nicely and continue the fight into round 4, where she's gonna wreak havoc, as the healing of Wildfire is too great compared to Bio's currently damage output. Losing their healer and the master is gonna be tricky to make a comeback, and Wildfire wins!